So you're having a few issues with your horse and you're thinking of getting some training aids to help, but with so many out there, how do you know which ones to choose? Don't worry, in this video we're going to look through a few different training aids for ridden and lunging and find out which one's going to be best for your horse, if any. Hi, I'm Zoe, the owner of Vet Physio here at Fit Pet Physio, and you can find out more about us by looking at the links down in the comments. Let's start by looking at ridden training aids. So we've got a few. We've got the Harbridge training aid, and this is a combination of synthetic and elastic material that attaches to the bit and then down between the forelimbs and to your horse's girth. This helps to lower your horse's head carriage, but only fitted correctly. With all of these training aids, the major thing is that we need to make sure that they're fitted correctly, otherwise they're not going to work. So if you've got any doubts, make sure you speak to a professional. We've got the Chambon training aid. This is similar to a Harbridge, but instead of just going from the bit to the girth, the Chambon also has pull attachments, so you get some more bending of the head and neck. And instead of just one girth attachment, it has two, so it attaches either side of the girth like your side reins would, to help you stop getting that deviated head movement to the one side or the other. Side reins can be leather, synthetic or elasticated, or a combination of these. It's good to have some elastic in there because this allows your horse's head to move a little bit in case of an accident or a spook. The gouge training aid is sort of a cross between the Chambon and the Harbridge, in that it has a pull and bit attachment and it connects to the girth between the front limbs, so it's sort of a cross or a hybrid of the two. And again, like most of these training aids, it is trying to lower your horse's head into a more correct posture. The Rainright is a training aid that looks very similar to the Harbridge, but is said to help enhance your horse's jump or help race horses. From how it works, I see no reason why it would help improve your jump, so if you have had experience of this and it has helped, please let me know because I can't find any research on it. Bungee training aids can come in two different forms. They can come in the form of a Harbridge but fully elastic, which is going to be less effective, but it is going to be helpful if your horse tends to be a bit spooky, because it's going to give them that range of motion in case they do have a second form of bungee training aids are things that you might have heard referred to as resistance bands, bum bands, equibands or core trainers, and these run under your horse's belly and around their back end to remind them that their muscles are there and that they can engage their core and their hind limbs. And these are really effective because they have a long lasting effect even after you stop using them, because they are asking your horse to do all of the work. So with some of our training aids like the Harbridge, the Chambon, those are only going to work whilst we've got them on, and what we really need to do is engage our horse's core and work on core strength. So if you do need some more help with your core or your horse's core, check out the link down in the description for some more information on core exercises specifically. And remember that none of these are going to be a quick fix. You've got to put a lot of work. Let's have a look at lunging aids. So the Soa training aid is one of the most common, and it's the only one that I ever see vets really recommend. And it works on a pulley system which connects your horse's hind limbs to their head. So it's really great at shortening your horses up and getting them to take a shorter stride. So it's not really going to be very good for your horses that are already quite short and shuffly and need to lengthen their stride. But it does have three different attachments, so it can attach to the poll, the bit and to the girth, so you can change how it works, and it's very similar to the Equiami system. They work basically in the same way, it's just a different company that makes them. So you can see the Soa training aid being used here, and here we have it attached to the bit and then down onto the girth, and as you can see, as the horse is moving forward, the tension on the band that goes round the hind end makes the bit line shorten, pulling the horse's head inward towards its chest. So it's really important that you have these fitted correctly, because otherwise you end up with your horse's head too low and too overbent. But as you can see here, this one's fitted quite nicely so that the horse can still lift their head up, but it is encouraging them to keep it as low as is comfortable for them at this time. And it really helps then to engage the hind end. So you can see here as well, as that hind limb is retracted, that puts pressure on the bit, lowering the horse's head into the outline that's desired here. But unfortunately, once that pulley system is removed, the effects aren't very long lasting, although you can see here with repeated use, it does help really muscle your horses up. Your cotton lunge aid. And this is one of the simplest training aids, so if you've got a youngster or a complete beginner, this is often a good one to use because it's just one piece. And it runs from the bit, between the forelimbs and over the withers, and this actually stimulates the horse's core to contract and lift up through their back, so it is again asking your horse to work, so it has a much longer lasting effect than some of the other training aids. So I hope that's helped you identify which training aid might be best for your horse. If it has, I'd love you to give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who you think it might help.